We back with Motor City Sports Talk. Switched the name over to cover more Detroit sports, just more than Detroit Lions football, but it's definitely still the home for Lions football, Pistons, Tigers, Red Wings, whatever news we got in the sports world, and even maybe a little bit more. But I definitely love my Detroit Pistons. Have for a long time. Watched when they was horrible throughout the 90s and what they grew into to be going to work Pistons. So, so talking about the Pistons, hopefully they're not done at the trade deadline. Tyreke Evans has been shut down by the Memphis Grizzlies because he's expected to move. And the Pistons need guard help. Ish Smith is a good backup. Reggie Jackson is Reggie Jackson. Luke Kennard, I like him a lot. I love Luke Kennard. Kind of bashed him earlier for saying the Pistons made a mistake taking him over Kyle Kuzma, and I stand by that. But Luke Kennard is an excellent player, but I think they need a point guard, and I like Tyreke Evans. Now I know there's some deficiencies there with Tyreke Evans as far as some of the injuries that he's had in the past, but I think it's maturity. I think he's now grown into a professional, a true pro. I think he's going to be taking care of his body more, and his game is clicked. He's found his niche in this league, and this year I've been watching him closely, and I think it's one of those things that he just needs opportunity. With Memphis, Mike Conley going down, he's definitely been the workhorse for the Memphis Grizzlies. Not only, being a scorer that everybody knew he could be when he played under John Calipari, I believe it was at Memphis, able to get to the basket whenever he wants. But now he's distributing, he's rebounding the ball. He's playing some D. I think he's the point guard that the Pistons, are looking for. Now, the only thing about him is his jump shot hasn't developed yet, and the Pistons need to continue to push shooting. We obviously know it's a 3-point league. Blake Griffin has improved as a 3-point shooter. I've been watching him this year, but I think what the Pistons will have for Tyreke Evans is a guy that can get Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond some easy baskets. I think you got a team that's very athletic that can get up and down the floor. Blake Griffin running, Drummond running, Tyreke throwing lobs and getting them easy buckets even in a half-court offense. Now, what would have to happen for this, to succeed is, you have to be ready to commit to letting Luke Kennard and Reggie Bullock start. And I say that because unless you're going to bring in some other shooting somewhere else, they two of the Pistons' best shooters, especially with the backup guard they do have. I forget his name. He's a good shooter as well. But I think you need to let those guys start or bring in some shooting somewhere else. I know it's going to be hard to buy out Reggie Jackson's contract. You just have to bite the bullet on that one right now, unless you can move him some way. But I think Tyreke Evans, Blake Griffin, and Andre Drummond get you moving in the right direction for the Pistons. And whatever I have to trade to get that man, I will give it up. It should be Stanley Johnson. Obviously they don't want Reggie Jackson. If it's some other young talent that they do have, or if they can orchestrate a 3-team deal to get this man, I think Blake Griffin, Drummond, and Tyreke Evans, with Kennard being the wing and Reggie Bullock on the other wing, I think it's dynamic. It just works for me. Especially if you're able to put shooting behind them. That's a dangerous bunch right there. And I know a lot of people, think of Tyreke Evans as he was a few years ago, a dude that's injury prone, a dude that just needs the ball. It seems that he's clicked. He's averaging 5 assists, and he could be averaging more if he had better shooters in Memphis. And I think with him and Drummond running the floor and Kennard, spotting up, who's shown to be no Kyle Stingler, the last Duke player the Pistons drafted, he's shown to knock down jump shots. That's one thing he can do. He can get it off the dribble as well. But one thing he can do is spot up and shoot. Reggie Bullock can shoot. The backup guard, I can't remember his name for whatever reason, is slipping. He can shoot. Tolliver can shoot. You got to get some more shooting. But Reggie can shoot. And him and Reggie actually can play together. I think it might be a good move for Reggie Jackson as well if you can't move him, because Reggie has no problem, playing the two, and they can play off each other, both being a little bit combo guard. But I like Tyreke as he's growing into the purest point guard that he's shown to be. And Reggie can definitely shoot and play off Tyreke Evans. And they can play together. You can bring one off the bench. I don't know how much draft ammo and how much valuable the players that the Pistons have at this point, and what Memphis is looking in return for Tyreke Evans. But I think it's definitely worth the risk. If you're gonna take a risk in Blake Griffin, you might as well take a risk on Tyreke Evans, and he definitely has all-star potential if you can get him in the right system. And it could say Stan Van Gundy Bacon. But let me know what y'all think.